Good morning, everybody. There's a Gita. And one of the babies is here. And then the other baby is here. There's the other baby. Now, and here I am, the nutty professor. And my friends will know, they already know, I think I've, talked to them actually, but my friends will know that when I podcast wearing a white t-shirt, it means things are really, really bad. But I think most of my friends already know things are really, really bad. So here we are again. I posted a podcast yesterday, but I really held back just because I was in such a place, and I didn't want to. There's so much going on, and I didn't want to, go into details as usual. So I kept it really basic. But now I'm like, I've actually talked to a friend yesterday. I called her at like 10:30, and we exchanged texts, once in a while. But I rarely ever call. And the fact that I called her, she was, I think she got a little worried, but she was there, she was there for me. We talked, and she knew a little bit about what was going on. And I actually told her some of the details, which is, people who, I don't know if she was a little shocked because, she's a cat rescuer. Feral cats, but feral cats don't quite get into the things that the nutty professor gets into. But she was not judgmental. She was like going, it's interesting. So anyway, but I talked to her, and then I exchanged emails with a friend out of Province, my other cat rescuer friend, and I happened to hear synchronicitously from my friend who has a dream of me as a dog, and she had some good news. She's got a human, addition to the family. So, and I talked to another, got a text from another friend, the former student who I occasionally have lunch with. And he hadn't yet seen the podcast, the other one I did yesterday. But yesterday's podcast was kind of, it was a fake podcast because, it wasn't. It was just I did not want to talk about details. However, I actually talked to my friends, one friend about the details, and my other female friend slept very bad dreams, very, nuclear war type dreams, mass people dying in graves kind of dreams. Those are the kind of dreams I had. But that's because, things are in my psyche, things are really, they're dissolving, so now is the time for me to put them together, it's very hard again to talk about this stuff without giving details. But let's just say I've been on a journey, and I've been allowed to go on this journey because I do live by myself. It's true. I have my friends; they're there for me when I need them. But for the most part, I live in isolation. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing because I've chosen it, I do have my contact with my friends. I do have my podcasts. I do have my, writing. Most of all, I have my kids, my 3 kids, and my kids that I keep coming back for, but when I go on these journeys and I come back and I do a podcast, I can write. I sort of have an obligation. I feel I have an obligation that, if I've been on these explorations, I need to at least share some of what I've been allowed to come back with. There's a reason I'm able to go. There's a reason I'm able to come back. There's a reason even that I'm in a position to be able to do this stuff. I think to say, I just can't, it's just too personal and too many, there might be other people involved and there might be some legal issues and whatever. Like I did yesterday, I'm like, no, we're going to do this shit, and I'm back. I am here each time I come back. And each time I go further inwards or down or whatever it is, I go further and further, but I'm still able to come back. And one of these days I may not be able to. So I've got to be able, I've got, got to make some changes, I think there's been a development because I now have a better idea of what I was dealing with. We were calling it substance addiction, and there is a substance aspect to it, but it's really part of something else. So as I talked with my friend last night, it doesn't really matter. Dual addiction is a dual addiction, whether it's primarily this or it's primarily that, but those two things go together. So now that we have a better idea of what they are, and now that, and each time I say I think I've hit rock bottom, I usually go a little further down. So it's probably better not to say I've gone down as low as I can because, that's tempting fates, So, but the thing is that I'm here. I'm back. And I do have my friends, And as I said, it's also the fact that I when I'm given the opportunities to explore, I usually don't say no. So now I will write about all of this. And I may even reveal just little bits more, like today, but nothing too shocking in podcasts. But I'll just say that, yes, I've gone further and further into my psyche. I've uncovered, I've explored. We've talked about this from the Jungian perspective. Shadow, confronting shadow, and anima, the feminine side of the male. Now, of course, when I explore it, I've been exploring it through really extreme, really extreme, the sort of unveiling of the exploration of the anima. And yes, things are a little broken inside, but that was part of the point. Now it's time to sort of fix them, put them together, which I think I can do, but it's going to be step by step, day by day, and I'm a little recovered now, I'm just a little recovered, I've eaten and I've slept, and I'm with the kids. I'm in my cat room. My friend has her cat room for rescue cats in the other province. This is my cat room. So I made it back to the cat room. So this is the Nutty Professor in the pet. The Nutty Professor is we've gone past Nutty some time ago. We've dealt with this. We've been been the crazy professor at times, and also at times what society may, in a way, this process that I'm going through. It's almost a psychotic breakdown, but it's a little bit more controlled than that, just a tiny bit more, because and now it's but I'm still here. I've been through all of this. I can write about it, and I'm going to write about it. I'm not going to talk too much more here, about details. What I wanted to do just now is say thank you to my friends, particularly the ones I talked to last night. The one I talked to, I don't know what I would have done. That really helped me. So talking to my friend, my cat rescuer friend, and the email with my other cat rescuer friend. And I'm very, very lucky. I consider myself very lucky to have people that I truly care about and that care about me, even if I see them 2 or 3 times a year, that's fine, or haven't seen them in 20 years, as in the case of the person out of town, out of province. But has been there for me, and that makes, and my kids, obviously. Without those, I probably wouldn't. I wouldn't come back. I wouldn't. I wouldn't have been able to come back. I wouldn't. I wouldn't be. I wouldn't be doing this. Wouldn't be here. So we got friends. We got kids. Well, and there's a purpose, and the purpose is to continue on the journey and share what I can and write out the details. So I want to thank my friends, for being there, and that's very, very, very important to me, and my kids, and I'm just going to keep going. So thank you, human friends, kids. I think every second of my existence, anyway. So bye for now. Talk to you next podcast. We might do a few, frequently now, when I return. I might even talk a little bit more about some of the issues without anything that could be, too personal or too, liable or anything like that. But I might talk just a little bit more, some very interesting stories. Unfortunately, I can't share those because they're just too personal, So basically, I'm back, and I will do this. There's a reason that I'm allowed to go certain places and experience certain things, and to come back because I can actually share some things with people who can't make and shouldn't make those journeys because they're not those journeys are very difficult to return from. So and I think I might even look at this point. Let's just do it because what I've been dealing with is they're called feminization issues, gender identity type stuff, So I will talk more about it, but again, it's very personal, and I don't want to go. And there are substances involved, and there is a sort of a breaking down of personality, and that's. But since I've been through this shit, that much I'll share. Okay. Anyway, bye for now. Talk to you later.